용어를 알면 경제가 보인다. 영어로 경제기사 읽자.
Econ Lounge.
네, 티끌 모아 태산. 매주 배우는 영어 경제 단어가 여러분에게 착착 쌓이길 바라면서 오늘의 경제 뉴스 만나보겠습니다. Here's our first economic story.
South Korea's economy grew 1.3% in the third quarter, its fastest GDP growth rate in 15 quarters. The rise was driven mainly by stronger internal consumption, helped by the government's livelihood recovery consumption coupons.
한국의 3분기 GDP 성장률이 1.3%를 기록하며 15분기 만에 가장 높은 성장세를 보였습니다. 이번 성장은 정부의 민생회복 소비 쿠폰 정책 효과로 내수가 살아난 것으로 분석됩니다.
However, analysts view the rebound as somewhat unstable because it depends heavily on this fiscal stimulus rather than broad-based improvement. The Bank of Korea says the annual growth target is still achievable, but the final outcome will depend on fourth quarter performance.
하지만 전문가들은 이번 반등이 전반적인 개선이 아닌 재정 부양책에 크게 의존해 다소 불안정하다고 보고 있습니다. 한국은행은 연간 성장률 목표 달성은 가능하다는 입장이지만 최종 결과는 4분기 실적에 달려 있다고 밝혔습니다. 네, 지난 12월 4일에 나온 경제 기사인데요. 한국의 3분기 GDP 성장률에 대한 내용이었습니다.
Right. So in Q2 of last year, growth was in the negative. It was minus 0.2%, and it was 0.7% in Q2 this year, and then maintain that momentum into Q3 as well.
Okay, so hopefully things will continue, but possibly not because it was driven by the fiscal stimulus.
Right. People were out there spending their 민생회복 소비 coupons, right? So private consumption and government spending both rose 1.3% in Q3. Which is the strongest level in years, actually.
네, 한국의 GDP 성장률은 2분기 0.7% 이후 이번에 3분기 1.3%로 성장세를 유지 중입니다. 지출 항목별로 브레이크다운 보면은 3분기 민간 소비와 정부 소비가 각각 1.3% 증가했는데 이 중 민간 소비 증가는 민생 회복 소비 쿠폰의 영향이 컸던 것으로 분석됩니다.
Right, so it kind of worked, in other words. So
Yes.
we'll see how that goes moving forward. The government spending was mostly on goods and national health insurance payouts, and then domestic demand and net exports drove the Q3 growth.
That's right. And the good news is that because we saw such great growth in Q3, even if we don't have major growth in the fourth quarter, we are going to see good numbers.
Exactly. Just as long as it's not in the negative. It only has to be zero, and then it's going to be annual growth of 1.1%.
That's right. 이렇게 재정 부양책이 크게 기여한 만큼 이 성장세가 다소 불안정하다는 지적도 나오고 있지만 이로써 4분기 성장률이 0% 이상이기만 하면은 올해 연간 성장률이 한국은행의 전망치인 1.0%를 상회할 가능성이 있다고 합니다. Okay, let's have a look at some expressions. GDP growth rate.
Right, we talk a lot about the GDP, the gross domestic product, how much is produced by a country in a year. This is the percentage change in the GDP over a specific period, usually
That's
year
right.
on year, which shows, of course, how fast the economy is growing or how fast it is shrinking.
That's right. In this article, we are looking at it on a quarter by quarter basis. 국내 총생산 성장률입니다. GDP growth rate. 한 나라의 경제가 얼마나 빠르게 커지고 있나를 숫자로 나타낸 지표인데 보통 백분율, %로 표기를 하고요. 우리나라의 3분기 GDP는 2분기 GDP보다 1.3% 더 높았습니다. The GDP growth rate is 1.3% for Q3 in Korea.
Right.
The next one, internal consumption.
Consumption basically means buying stuff in economic terms. So buying goods or services within the same country in this case, but within the same company, you can also use the same words. But we're talking about a country, you can also say domestic consumption as
That's
well.
right. Internal consumption, domestic consumption, 내수 소비이죠. 국내에서 일어난 소비 활동입니다.
네.
여기서 좀 디테일하게 짚자면 수입품이어도 한국에서 산 거면 내수 소비에 잡히고요. 외국인이 한국에 관광하러 와서 소비하는 것도 GDP 민간 소비에는 잡히지 않지만 내수 소비에는 잡힙니다.
네.
민생 회복 소비 쿠폰은 한국에서만 사용할 수 있는 거니까 it helped Korea's internal consumption.
You actually had to use it in your own city. I tried to use it in a different city and it didn't work.
Yeah, and you can't use it online. And if you order through an online platform, you had to make sure that you had to pay in person.
Right.
So there were some rules there to make sure that your local community was benefiting.
Right.
Broad-based improvement.
Right. Means affecting a wide range of sectors, industries, demographics within an economy. We're talking about broad-based improvement here versus a very specific area of improvement because we were talking about the 민생 회복 coupons, of course, which are one specific area only, rather than many different areas of economic improvement.
여기서 broad가 폭이 넓은 이런 뜻이잖아요. 그래서 broad-based라고 하면은 전반적인 폭넓은 improvement, 개선이라는 뜻입니다. 그러니까 경제의 어떤 한 특별한 부분만 좋아지는 게 아니라 산업, 수출, 소비 등등 모든 여러 분야에서 고르게 회복이 되는 것을 broad-based improvement라고 합니다.
네.
Which we did not see in this case.
Right. But hopefully we will moving forward.
That's right. Okay, let's have a listen to the article once more in English.
South Korea's economy grew 1.3% in the third quarter, its fastest GDP growth rate in 15 quarters. The rise was driven mainly by stronger internal consumption, helped by the government's livelihood recovery consumption coupons. However, analysts view the rebound as somewhat unstable because it depends heavily on this fiscal stimulus rather than broad-based improvement. The Bank of Korea says the annual growth target is still achievable, but the final outcome will depend on fourth quarter performance.
All right, that was the first article. It is now time for the first Econ Pop Quiz.
Ding dong! Which term refers to the period covering months 7 through 9 in a year? What is
7 through 9 as in July through September, right?
There you go. Is it number 1, the first quarter, number 2, the third quarter, or number 3, the fourth quarter? So we're talking about July to September, months 7 through 9. What is the economic term for that period? Is it number 1, the first quarter, number 2, the third quarter, or number 3, the fourth quarter?
All right, please send us your answers to 샵1045 반디 or YouTube comment. 저희가 한 분께 커피 쿠폰 드리겠습니다.
This is DJ in another world.
EBS FM Evening Special Econ Lounge 함께하고 있습니다. Could we have the answer to the question, please?
Well, let's have the question first,
All right.
and then the answer. Just in case you didn't hear the question, which term refers to the period covering months 7 through 9 in a year? The economic term for July to September. That is, of course, number 2, the third quarter. 3분기죠.
That's right. 3분기 running from July to September.
Yeah.
We are going to give the mobile coffee voucher to 하재_아토님. 축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
All right, let's move on to the second economic story.
Russia issued its first sovereign bonds in Chinese renminbi, raising about 20 billion yuan to help fund its war in Ukraine and deepen financial ties with China. The renminbi has effectively become Russia's new reserve currency after Western sanctions cut off access to dollars and euros.
러시아가 사상 처음으로 약 200억 위안 규모의 위안화 표시 국채를 발행했습니다. 우크라이나 전쟁 자금 조달과 중국과의 금융 협력 강화를 위한 조치로 해석되는데요. 서방 제재로 달러와 유로 사용이 차단된 이후 위안화는 사실상 러시아의 새로운 기축 통화 역할을 하고 있습니다.
By borrowing in China's currency, Moscow can avoid its own extremely high interest rates and help cover its widening fiscal deficit. The deal also supports Beijing's push to internationalize the renminbi as more countries consider issuing renminbi-dominated debt.
Denominated debt. 러시아는 위안화로 차입하면서 자국의 높은 금리를 피하고 확대되는 재정 적자를 메우는 데도 도움을 받을 수 있게 됐습니다. 이번 거래는 다른 국가들의 위안화 표시 부채 발행을 유도해 중국이 추진해온 위안화 국제화 전략에도 힘을 실어줄 것으로 전망됩니다. 네, 지난주 12월 3일에 나왔던 뉴스입니다. 러시아가 중국의 위안화로 표시된 첫 국채를 발행했다는 기사였고요.
So it issued 12 billion yuan in 2029 bonds. Those are at 6%, and then 8 billion more in 2023 bonds at 7%. Whereas Russian interest rates right now are at around 16.5%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But some lending can go all the way up to even 29% and higher. So you can see why they'd want to do that.
Yeah. 러시아가 위안화 표시 국채를 발행하면서 중국의 낮은 interest rate 금리를 활용해서 전쟁 자금을 조달할 수 있게 됐습니다. So if we have a look at the specific numbers, 2029년 만기 120억 위안 국채는 6%, 2033년 만기 80억 위안 국채는 7% 금리로 발행했는데 이 두 개를 합하면 한국 돈으로는 총 3조 8천억 원 어치라고 합니다.
And then over half of it was actually purchased by Russian banks. So it shows a shift towards much deeper trade ties with China.
That's right. 이번 발행분의 절반 이상을 러시아 은행들이 직접 인수했고 전쟁 이후 아무래도 더 깊게 이제 중국에 의존을 하게 됐고 이제 중국과의 무역도 활발해지면서 이제 그런 새로운 환경에 대비하려는 전략적 선택으로 보입니다.
And China is trying to push its currency out into the international community more and more. Different countries are joining on that push. Hungary, several African nations, countries like Indonesia, Pakistan are expanding or thinking about issuing yuan-dominated bonds.
네.
Denominated.
That's right.
Like you're saying dominated.
Yeah, that's right. 중국은 오랫동안 위안화의 기축 통화를 이제 밀고 있는데 헝가리와 아프리카 여러 나라도 이미 위안화 채권을 발행을 했고 인도네시아나 파키스탄 등 여러 나라가 지금 이른바 판다본드 발행을 이제 검토하고 있는 단계입니다.
Right. Denominated just means in that currency.
That's right.
In that denomination.
Sovereign bonds, what does that mean?
These are debt securities issued by a national government to raise money for public spending. So, for example, things like infrastructure or also to manage budget deficits as well. Basically, they're borrowing from investors.
That's right. Sovereign bonds, 여기서 sovereign 스펠링 드릴게요. S-O-V-E-R-E-I-G-N. 국채인데, 그러니까 한 나라의 정부가 직접 발행하는 이제 채권이죠. 여기서 sovereign, 주권 국가의 라는 뜻인데 이거 어렵게 생각하실 필요 전혀 없습니다. 그냥 발행 주체가 기업이나 지방 정부가 아니라 중앙 정부, 국가라는 뜻으로 사용한 겁니다. 그래서 government bonds, treasury bonds랑 똑같은 거예요. Don't get confused by the fancy word sovereign.
It does sound fancy. And don't you love it when English just throws a little secret G in there for no reason?
맞아요.
Sovereign. Yeah.
여기 스펠링에 G가 들어가 있지만 발음에는 나오지 않습니다.
네.
It's a silent G.
Yep, just for fun.
Just for fun. Just to make it more difficult for you guys. Reserve currency.
A reserve currency is a foreign currency, a foreign denomination that is held by a government or a central bank that's part of that country's reserve. So obviously the dollar is the most common one. The euro is also widely used. China's trying to push its currency out into more reserve currencies as well. And yeah. I forget what I was going to add to that.
Probably Japanese yen and British pound. They're also very up there in the list of top 5. Reserve Currency 기축 통화입니다. 그러니까 여러 나라의 중앙은행과 정부가 외환 보유액으로 쌓아두는 통화인데 대표적인 기축 통화로는 미국 달러가 압도적으로 1위고요. 그 다음이 유로, 엔화, 파운드 그리고 이제 위안화 요 순으로 많이 보유하고 있습니다. All over the world. Fiscal deficit. Fiscal, F-I-S-C-A-L.
Right, another word that sounds more complex than it actually is. It's
Yeah.
just basically when the government spends more money than it earns.
네, 재정 적자이에요. 정부가 번 돈, 뭐 세금 등으로 번 돈보다 쓴 돈이 더 많아서 적자가 난 상황. Russia is definitely in a fiscal deficit.
Yes, spending a lot of money destroying the Ukraine currently.
The opposite of
Unfortunately.
fiscal deficit would be a fiscal surplus.
Yep.
재정 흑자 surplus. S-U-R-P-L-U-S.
네.
Okay, let's have a listen to the story once again.
Russia issued its first sovereign bonds in Chinese renminbi, raising about $3 billion to help fund its war in Ukraine and deepen financial ties with China. The renminbi has effectively become Russia's new reserve currency after Western sanctions cut off access to dollars and euros. By borrowing in China's currency, Moscow can avoid its own extremely high interest rates and help cover its widening fiscal deficit. This deal also supports Beijing's push to internationalize the renminbi as more countries consider issuing renminbi-denominated debt. Denominated.
You are just providing your own remix there. Denominated.
Because technically dominated would actually work there because it is dominated by renminbi, the denomination of renminbi.
Yeah, the debt is dominated by renminbi now.
So that's a tricky one.
All right, so with those key terms in mind, let's do a quick review. 내수가 증가하고 있습니다.
Internal consumption is rising.
전반적 개선은 아직 없어요.
There is no broad-based improvement yet.
그 나라는 국채를 발행했습니다.
The country issued sovereign bonds.
달러는 주요 기축 통화입니다.
The dollar is a major reserve currency.
재정 적자가 커지고 있습니다.
The fiscal deficit is growing.
Alright, so that is a wrap for today's Econ Lounge. We'll be back after a song break.
It's Lady Gaga, Million Reasons.